Welcome back to Capital Vision, the channel where we break down money, mindset, and motivation to help you build a better financial future. Today, we're diving into a powerful truth that most people overlook. Being poor is expensive. Yes, you heard that right. Poverty doesn't just mean having less money, it often means spending more in the long run. Stick with me till the end because we'll also cover practical strategies to break free from this costly cycle. Let's start with the big picture. When people think of financial struggle, they usually imagine spending less, cutting corners, and living with less. But in reality, the opposite is true. Being broke often forces people to spend more on daily living. Economists call this the poverty penalty, the hidden costs that punish people for not having enough. Movie camera visuals show a person at a small convenience store buying a single loaf of bread and a bottle of milk. Overlay text, higher prices in small quantities. Narrator voiceover. Think about it. If you can't afford to buy in bulk, you end up paying higher prices per item. If you don't have an emergency fund, you're forced to rely on payday loans or credit cards, and the interest piles up. If you can't afford a reliable car, you spend more money fixing a broken one, or worse, miss days of work entirely. The costs stack up, and poverty becomes a cycle that's hard to break. When people think of financial struggle, they imagine cutting corners and spending less. But the reality is the opposite. Being broke often forces you to spend more. Economists call this the poverty penalty, hidden costs that punish people for not having enough. If you can't afford to buy in bulk, you pay higher prices per unit. Without savings, you turn to payday loans or credit cards, where interest piles up. Without a reliable car, you spend more on constant repairs or lose income from missed work. The costs stack up, creating a vicious cycle that traps millions of people worldwide. One of the most brutal hidden costs comes from payday loans and high-interest borrowing. Imagine needing just $200 to cover groceries or rent. With no savings, many people turn to payday lenders. But here's the catch. Those loans can carry interest rates as high as 400% a year. That $200 can quickly balloon into $600 or more, all because of desperation. Credit cards can be just as dangerous. Paying only the minimum traps you in a cycle where interest eats away at your income. Instead of moving forward, you're stuck working harder just to stay in the same place. It's like running on a treadmill that never stops. Another hidden cost of being poor is bad credit. Landlords charge higher deposits. Insurance premiums rise. Some employers even deny jobs because of poor credit history. Take buying a car, for example. A person with great credit might get a 5% loan. Someone with bad credit could be charged 20% or more. Over 5 years, that difference can cost thousands of dollars. It's a system that punishes you twice, first for being broke, and again when you try to recover. Poverty also bleeds into everyday expenses. Cheaper products break faster, forcing you to buy replacements more often. Living in low-income neighborhoods often means paying higher food prices at small stores because large supermarkets are out of reach. Without health insurance, one medical emergency can wipe out months of income. Even transportation is costly. Older cars constantly need repairs, while missing public transit means lost opportunities. It's like living in a house full of tiny leaks. Each one doesn't seem catastrophic on its own, but together they sink the ship. Here's the irony. The wealthy often spend less to live better. Why? Because they have access. They can afford to buy in bulk, pay cash for cars, and qualify for lower interest rates. They get discounts, rewards, and privileges. Meanwhile, the poor pay more for the same goods and services because they lack options. It's what some experts call a poverty tax, invisible but powerful, draining money from those who already have the least. Here's the irony. The wealthy often spend less to live better. Why? Because they have access. They can afford to buy in bulk, pay cash for cars, and qualify for lower interest rates. They get discounts, rewards, and privileges. Meanwhile, the poor pay more for the same goods and services because they lack options. It's what some experts call a poverty tax, invisible but powerful, draining money from those who already have the least. So, how can we escape these hidden costs? While the road isn't easy, it is possible. Here are practical steps to start with. Build an emergency fund. Even $10 or $20 a week adds up, creating a safety net that prevents payday loans. Improve credit slowly. Pay bills on time, use secured credit cards, and keep balances low. Over time, your credit opens doors to cheaper borrowing. Budget smartly. Track every single dollar. Poverty makes budgeting harder, but it also makes it more critical. Leverage community resources. Food banks, credit unions, and nonprofits often provide cheaper alternatives than predatory lenders. Start a side hustle. Even small extra income from freelancing, online gigs, or part-time work can mean the difference between debt and stability. The key is consistency. No matter how small the step, every move forward breaks another link in the poverty chain. The hidden costs of being poor are real and they affect millions. But here's the truth. Financial struggle doesn't define you. Your choices, your persistence, and your vision for the future do. With discipline, education, and determination, you can escape the poverty trap and build a brighter tomorrow. This is Capital Vision. If you found value in today's video, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs encouragement on their financial journey. Remember, the struggle may be real, but so is the opportunity to rise above it.